games now halfway complete. Alabama with a .175 lead over Georgia, with UCLA biting at the Gym Dogs' heels. Dominique now with Sarah Patterson.
Sarah, you ended on the vault with a near-perfect performance by Andrea Pickens, your #1 senior. You're winning after the first two events. How do you feel?
Well, I think we came out and we got off to a great start. I think the fans are wonderful and our ladies seem relaxed, and it's just great that we've gotten off to this good a start.
Okay, your team's finishing on the beam, nerve-wracking event. How are you going to ensure that your gymnasts are going to stay on and have a solid performance?
Well, first of all, in the prelims, we did a great job. We rocked a beam. We did it in regionals. We set an NCAA record. So I feel certain that they're going to be confident and they'll come out here and nice and relaxed.
First, Bama takes a breather on a bye. It's Georgia heading to the balance beam when we come back. Senior Andrea Pickens has led Alabama with near-perfect scores on the floor and vault. But for Bama, the beam still looms. Georgia came into the meet banged up, but sophomores Chelsea Bird and Corey Fritzinger have surprisingly put the Gym Dogs in second place. And Jamie Dancher and Ani Willis have kept UCLA in the running, but the Bruins lacking that brute force that helped them dominate the past 2 years. Welcome back to the 2002 Women's NCAA Gymnastics Championships. After 3 rotations, Alabama in first place with a 98.75, but only a half a tenth separates Georgia and UCLA for second and third place, respectively. And Amanda, what's impressed you so far?
Well, Andrea has clearly been the star for Alabama, being almost nearly flawless on both floor and vault, scoring a 9.9 and a 9.95. It's been incredible.
Looking ahead, you would seemingly think Alabama's got the toughest rotation schedule because they've got bars and they end on beam, but if you look at what they've done in recent weeks, they don't seem to mind beam at all.
Well, that can be the event that does make or break a team, but Alabama did a great job in prelims. They had the exact same rotations, and they nailed every beam routine.
But Bama will be on a bye in this rotation, as will Stanford, Nebraska on vault, Utah bars, UCLA floor, and Georgia is on the balance beam. And leading off for the Bulldogs, Talya Vexler. One of 2 Georgia seniors from Amherst, Massachusetts. And Amanda, Talya's been leading off for 2 years for Georgia on beam. How important is it to have that tone setter?
Well, this is a very important position. You want somebody who's consistent and that you know can get up there and nail every routine. Here's our flight series, back handspring, layout, step out. Very nice.
And Talya epitomizes that model of consistency. She's hit 14 of her 15 beam routines last year and has been equally as solid this season. A turn required on beam, and as easy as it seems, it's just as easy to bobble on it.
Nice switch side to second. Another requirement, every gymnast has to touch their body to the beam, back hip circle around.
She touched every bit of the beam there.
Just getting ready for the dismount. Off the side, gainer full. Perfect landing.
One of the more popular dismounts you'll see in this meet, gainer full. And Coach Suzanne Yocklin and Talya thrilled with that, 9.85. The table setter does her job. And on floor now, UCLA's Alyssa Beckerman, sophomore from Middletown, New Jersey. Double turn as she sets up for her second tumbling pass.
Nice, Rudy.
Now let me ask you, UCLA's coming off a bye. A lot of gymnasts don't like byes because they get cold. But for someone like Alyssa, who took a nasty fall on beam, does that give her time to get recomposed?
Definitely. I think it gives you time to regroup and get your mind focused on what you need to do. She's done a great job so far, getting ready for her last tumbling pass. Ending with a whip half front layout, nicely done.
Alyssa, not just a great gymnast, but she's also got a beautiful voice and has sang the national anthem on several occasions for the UCLA home meets. And a 9.8. for the melodic Miss Beckerman. Greg Marsden and his Utah Utes trying to move up from 4th in the standings, but Bars not really serving him well here. A rough ride for junior Kim Allen, going 9.225. Struggled on her shoot over after her release, Amanda.
Well, watch her hands right here out of the ginger. She doesn't quite get a good enough grip and can't swing up, actually lands on her rib.
And then Deidre Graham goes 9.725, and that score Utah will now have to count.
She struggled here on the dismount, didn't get enough height or rotation, and has to take 2 steps on the landing.
So Utah's bar woes bode well for Georgia. They hit the first 2 beam routines. This is Marline Stevens.
Beautiful layout step out, a slight wobble on the landing.
Marlene's strong suits are floor and vault, but she seems a little tentative here on beam, Amanda.
That's right. When you tend to hold back, you see small wobbles, which are all little deductions.
Marline is one of 5 gymnasts from Brown's Gymnastics down in Houston. Also Aileen Diaz, Michelle Emmons, Kinsey Rowe, Melinda Bainbridge. Houston, a heavily recruited area for Georgia.
Nice flight series, back handspring layout. Looks like she's getting a little more confident. Preparing for the dismount. Very difficult round off double tuck. The stuck landing.
And sticking that dismount was important when you take into account that she had several wobbles throughout the beam routine that will obviously be deductions. And the judges award Marline with a 9.85 as we switch gears and over to the floor, and 2-time Canadian Olympian Yvonne Tousek for UCLA.
This is her second tumbling pass, 2.5 punch front. Nicely done.
As a freshman, Yvonne set the UCLA record in the all-around with a 39.65. And the one thing you immediately pick up here on floor is her dance ability.
Well, UCLA always has incredible choreography.
That has a lot to do with the fact that their head coach is a former professional dancer and does the choreography. And this year, something like that could play into UCLA's favor, because in the new code of points, judges are given a 3/10 range for artistic impression.
This has been a very strong routine, getting ready for her 3rd tumbling pass. Round off whip, 1.5 punch front. Nicely done.
Yvonne, not the only gymnast in the Tousek family. Her younger sister Chantel is also an elite gymnast up in Canada. The 9.825.
I think that score is a little low. I thought that routine was much better than that.
Well, the Bruins still have their spark plug remaining. Jamie Dantrup next on floor. Corey Fritzinger on beam for Georgia. And the Utes send Teresa Kulikowski to bars when we come back.